A woman crawled out of his closet, drank his milk, then vanished. This really happened. What would you do if you saw someone crawling out of your drain? Comment below. Imagine you're home alone. The doors are locked. The windows are shut. You're safe. Right. What if I told you the most terrifying threats aren't the ones trying to break in, but the ones who are already inside tonight? We're re-exploring the horrifying true stories of people who discovered they weren't living alone at all. These aren't ghosts or demons, they're real people, hiding in the last places you'd ever look. Our first story takes us to Fukuoka, Japan, in 2008. A young salaryman named Hideo Nakamura found a cheap apartment in the heart of the city. It was a rare find, so he grabbed it. But from the first night, things felt wrong. A strange coldness lingered in the summer air. Lights flickered, and he heard scratching noises from inside the walls. He brushed it off as rats. That is, until the scratching started coming from his closet soon. Food began disappearing from his fridge. Rice balls, milk gone. Hideo, overworked and exhausted, thought he was just being forgetful, but doubt crept in. One night, he set a simple trap. A bowl of rice on his table, surrounded by a thin layer of flour to catch any footprints. The next morning, the rice was gone. But the flour was undisturbed. Not a single print. He checked the security chain on his door. It was still latched from the inside. A chilling realization washed over him. He was alone, yet someone, or something, was eating his food, driven by a mix of fear and curiosity. Hideo installed a small security camera in his living room before leaving for work. When he returned that evening and reviewed the footage, his blood ran cold. The video showed his closet door slowly creaking open in the middle of the afternoon. A pale, thin woman crawled out. She stretched, walked to his kitchen, drank from his milk carton, and ate his rice. She even sat on his couch and watched TV, acting as if she owned the place. Then, just minutes before he was due home, she calmly slipped back into the closet and shut the door behind her. Terrified, Hideo called the police. They were skeptical at first, thinking it was a prank. Then they opened the closet. Behind his coats, they found a small, hidden opening in the wall. It led to a dark crawlspace. Inside was a mattress, empty food containers, and a disturbing notebook. Its pages were filled with messy drawings and one phrase, written over and over. "He doesn't see me. He doesn't hear me. I live here too." The woman, 58 years old and homeless, was found hiding in the space above his ceiling. She had been living there for over a year, silently sharing his home, using his shower, and eating his food. When questioned, she gave a chilling, nonsensical story. She claimed she'd been there much longer than him and that the man before him stopped moving one day. She warned that the building feeds on those who forget to lock the closet. The police dismissed it as the ramblings of a troubled mind. Hideo moved out immediately, but the story doesn't end there. Local legend says that every tenant who moved in after him reported the same cold air, the same missing food, and the distinct smell of shampoo when they showered alone. The landlord eventually sealed the unit for good. But even today, neighbors report seeing a light flicker on in that empty, sealed apartment. Now, let's travel to Seoul, South Korea. In 2019, a young professional named Yoonji Park moved into a new, high-security apartment building. It was the kind of place where you're supposed to feel completely safe. But soon, small, unsettling things began to happen. Her shampoo bottle seemed to empty too quickly, and her cat, Nobby, developed a strange habit. Every night, at exactly 2 a.m., it would stare at the bathroom drain and hiss. One evening, while brushing her teeth, Yoonji heard it, a faint but unmistakable sound of breathing, coming from below her feet from the drain under the sink. It was a slow, wheezing inhale and exhale. She froze, leaning closer. The sound stopped. Then, a soft knock echoed from inside the pipe. She stumbled back, heart pounding, the next morning. She found small, muddy footprints on her bathroom floor, leading directly to that drain. A few weeks later, the building management installed security cameras after numerous tenants complained of stolen food and strange odors. One evening, Yoonji's downstairs neighbor knocked on her door, her face pale with terror. They found something. She whispered, "In the basement." The tenants gathered as the manager played the security footage. The video showed a man, filthy and thin, crawling out of a sewage tunnel hatch in the building's basement. He moved toward the network of pipes that connected to all of their apartments. Then, he looked directly at the camera, smiled, and crawled back into the darkness. The police descended into the labyrinth of drains beneath the building and the Yoonji's unit. They found a makeshift home, blankets, ramen cups, and scraps of women's clothing. But that wasn't the worst of it. They also found torn photographs of the building's residents, including a photo of Yoonji, asleep in her own bed. A hole in the ceiling of the drain pipe led directly to her bathroom. Handprints confirmed he had been lifting the drain cover to watch her for months. The man, a former maintenance worker who knew the building's blueprints, was caught 2 days later. He claimed he only watched, but his diary told a darker story. It was filled with sketches of the tenants and notes on their daily routines. One sentence was, repeated over and over, "The drains lead everywhere. They don't hear me, but I see them." These stories serve as a terrifying reminder that the walls round us might not be as solid as we think. The creaks and groans of a building might be more than just the house settling. So tonight, when you lock your door, you might also want to check your closet. And maybe, just maybe, listen a little closer to the sounds coming from your drains. At 2:37 in the morning on June 21, 2017, a truck driver barreling down Highway 89 in Arizona made a frantic 911 call. His voice was breathless, panicked. He told the dispatcher, "There's a girl on the road. She's barefoot, crying, just standing there. I nearly hit her." The Arizona Highway Patrol dispatched officers immediately, expecting the usual late-night caller drunk driver, a teenage runaway, maybe even a deer mistaken for a person in the darkness. But what they were about to encounter was something far beyond their training, a mystery that would be captured on a dashcam and haunt investigators for years to come. This is the chilling true story behind one of the most mysterious police encounters ever recorded. The first officer to arrive on the scene was Daniel Ruiz. His dashcam footage, which was later leaked, begins just like any other patrol video. The patrol car's headlights cut through the pitch-black desert, illuminating the empty 2-lane highway. Dust and dry brush swirl in the beams under faint, airy moonlight. For the first few minutes, there's nothing but the quiet hum of the engine and the vast, silent emptiness of the Arizona night. Then, at the 3-minute and 27-second mark, the headlights catch her. A young girl, no older than 10 or 11, is standing directly on the center line of the road. She's wearing a simple white nightgown. Her hair is tangled and messy, and her feet are completely bare against the rough asphalt. But it's her eyes that are the most unsettling. They are wide, unblinking and staring directly into the camera with an intensity that feels almost unnatural. Officer Ruiz, trying to keep his composure, slows the car to a stop and calls out through his open window. His voice is calm, professional. "Sweetheart, are you okay? Do you need help?" The girl doesn't react. She doesn't move. She doesn't even blink. She just stands there, a ghostly figure frozen in the harsh glare of the headlights. As the silence stretches on, the dash cam's microphone picks up something incredibly faint. A whisper carried on the wind. It's the girl's voice, and she says, "He's still here." Confused and concerned, Ruiz gets out of his patrol car, his flashlight raised. As he takes a step towards her, the girl finally moves. She turns slowly, deliberately, and begins walking down the road, away from him, deeper into the darkness. Ruiz calls out again, "Hey, wait. I'm here to help you." But she gives no sign of hearing him. She just keeps walking. The flashlight beam in the footage begins to shake as Ruiz starts to jog, trying to catch up to her. And then, in a split second, she vanishes. Right at the very edge of the flashlight's beam, she's there one moment and gone the next. Just gone. The footage shows Ruiz panning his light frantically across the empty desert landscape. He calls her name, his voice now laced with urgency. But there's nothing. No movement, no response. There are no footprints in the dirt beside the road. Nothing to suggest a person was ever there. It's as if she was a mirage. As Ruiz continues to search the darkness in front of him, the dashcam, still recording from the car, captures something else. Something absolutely terrifying. For just a moment, standing on the side of the road, just behind Officer Ruiz's patrol car, a dark figure appears. It's tall, human-shaped, and completely motionless. As the patrol car's headlights flicker slightly, the figure seems to tilt its head, as if it's watching Ruiz with a cold, predatory curiosity. A moment later, when Ruiz finally turns back toward his car, the figure is gone. Backup arrived on the scene about 15 minutes later, but an extensive search of the area turned up nothing. No girl, no footprints, no sign of anyone at all. It was as if the entire event never happened. But it did happen. It was all on the dashcam. Later, when investigators reviewed the footage frame by frame, they discovered another chilling detail. Every time Officer Ruiz's flashlight beam passed over a reflective surface or road sign, the patrol car's windows, even his own side view mirror, a faint image of a child's face appeared in the reflection. It was the face of the girl from the road, and in every reflection, she was watching him. This detail sent a shiver down the spine of even the most seasoned officers. Who was this girl? And what was she doing on that desolate stretch of highway in the middle of the night? The investigative team began digging through old cold cases, searching for any missing persons reports that might match the girl's description. They found one. A file from 1993 for a girl named Lily Harper. She was 11 years old and had disappeared near the exact same stretch of Highway 89. According to the report, her family's car had broken down late at night. Her father went to walk for help, leaving Lily and her mother in the car. Her mother claimed Lily had fallen asleep in the back seat. But when she woke up a while later, the car door was open and Lily was gone. An extensive search was conducted, but her body was never found. The case eventually went cold, a tragic mystery swallowed by the desert. Could the girl on the road have been the ghost of Lily Harper, forever haunting the place where she was last seen alive? In 2018, The dash cam footage was leaked and briefly went viral online. The grainy, terrifying video spread like wildfire across forums and social media, with millions of people debating its authenticity. But just as quickly as it appeared, it was taken down. The Arizona Department of Public Safety issued a statement claiming the footage was doctored and a hoax. They tried to bury the story, but the questions remained. And for Officer Daniel Ruiz, the ordeal was far from over. He never returned to active duty. His partner later told an investigative reporter that Ruiz was never the same after that night. He suffered from severe paranoia and insomnia. He would wake up screaming, swearing that he could still hear knocking on his car window, a faint tapping that followed him everywhere. Then, in 2019, Officer Ruiz disappeared. The only thing he left behind was a single, cryptic note on his kitchen counter. It read, "She wasn't asking for help. She was warning me." This story could end there, as another unsolved mystery. But it doesn't. In 2021, a group of amateur paranormal investigators, intrigued by the legends surrounding the leaked footage, traveled to that same stretch of Highway 89. They set up their equipment, night vision cameras, audio recorders, motion sensors, hoping to capture evidence of the ghostly girl. For hours, there was nothing. Then, at almost 3 o'clock a.m., one of their cameras captured movement along the road's shoulder. It was a small, white figure, walking barefoot, just as the truck driver had described. The audio recorder picked up the faint sound of soft crying. Mastering their courage, one of the investigators called out to her. The figure stopped and turned. The footage shows her mouth opening, far wider than any human mouth should. And the sound that came out wasn't crying. It was a piercing, inhuman scream, a sound so powerful it shattered their microphone and caused the camera feed to cut to static. When the feed came back online a few seconds later, the camera was on its side in the dirt. The group had scattered, running for their lives in pure terror. All except for one. Her name was Yuna. She was 22 years old. They found her 2 miles away, sitting in the middle of the road, staring blankly into the darkness. She was in a state of shock, and for hours, all she would say, over and over again, with the same terrifying phrase, "She's not the ghost." This adds a whole new, horrifying layer to the mystery. If the girl isn't the ghost, then what is she? A warning, a lure. And who, or what, is he? Is it the dark figure seen behind Officer Ruiz's car? Could this be the entity that took Lily Harper all those years ago? Officially, the Arizona Highway Patrol confirms that Officer Daniel Ruiz did respond to a 911 call on Highway 89 in June 2017. They acknowledge that his dashcam footage exists, but it remains classified, locked away from the public. Forensic analysis of the leaked clip failed to prove that it was edited or faked. The child seen in the video has never been officially identified. In the years following these events, that section of the highway saw a spike in unexplained single-car accidents, all happening near the same mile marker. Eventually, the road was renamed and rerouted. But locals know the truth. They say if you're brave enough to drive down that old, abandoned stretch of road at night, you might just see her. A small girl in a white nightgown, standing on the shoulder, crying softly in the dark. And if you stop, if you call out to her, your car radio might crackle to life with a faint, static-filled whisper, a chilling echo of the words that started it all. He's still here. This remains one of the most unsettling and well-documented police encounters with the unexplained in modern history. With real call logs, classified footage, and a story that continues to terrify patrol officers in Arizona, it serves as a chilling reminder that some things are not meant to be understood. The desert holds many secrets, and sometimes those secrets come out to haunt the living. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story chilling as I did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Stay safe out there.